Hey guys, Mark the Mentor here, back with another video. All right, this video I want to talk about one main mistake that a lot of box truck owner operators make, and when this mistake is made, ultimately over time it ends up killing their business. All right, the mistake is not understanding how to pay yourself. All right, what a lot of box truck owner operators do, a lot of semi truck owner operators do it too, which it ultimately consumes them in the end. What I notice a lot of box truck owner operators do is they'll pay all their expenses, and then the money that's left, right, that's what they take as their pay. All right, they don't set a salary aside for themselves. All right, your part of your expenses should be a salary. All right, and like once you pay your truck, your rental, your truck note, your fuel, your ELD, your tolls, all those expenses, and then you take what the money that's left, and then you keep that, and that's what you live off of. Basically, what you're doing is you're stealing from your home company. And then you're probably asking, well, how am I stealing from the company? It's my money. Listen, you have to treat yourself as an employee. You'll never grow that way. And ultimately, it's going to consume you in the long run. And here's how. You're stealing from the sustainability and the growth of the business. All right. The business has to sustain itself. All right. You have to pay yourself. You have to set a salary aside, and then whatever's left is profit. You have to include a salary in your expenses, and then whatever's left is profit. All right. You have to have profit to reinvest back into the business so that the business can sustain and grow. All right. Here's a good example of what I see happens all the time. Owner operator works. All right. They pay everything, and then the money that's left over, that's what they use, that's what they keep. That's what they pay themselves with. They live off of that money. Right. And then time goes on, something occurs, something happens, like a major breakdown, something, and they don't have the money to get the problem fixed. I see this happen all the time. Why? Because the money the profit wasn't reinvested back into the business so that the business can sustain and grow, because the owner operator has been taking that profit and paying themselves with it. All right. You have to create some type of salary for yourself. All right. And then include that in your expenses. And then the money that's left over gets reinvested into the business so that the business can sustain and grow. A lot of people don't understand the fact that in order to, how can you add a second truck when you haven't figured out how to profit and pay yourself from the first truck? If you're taking the profits as your payment, how do you think you can sustain a second truck? You can't. You know what I'm saying? And this is where a lot of people fail, because they hit that bump in the road later on down the line, and they don't have their money. And then they realize, and they've just been getting by, and they don't understand why they've just been getting by. It's because they haven't structured their business correctly, as far as the bottom line is concerned, and figured out a way, or figured out that they have to pay themselves and include that in their expenses. All right. So your salary, you have to create a salary. You have to include that into your expenses in order for you to sustain your business. That profit, you have to create. You got to create that space. All right. Pay yourself, include your salary and your expenses. And then that money that's left over, that's your profit. And that gets reinvested back into the business so that the business can sustain and ultimately over time grow, because that money is going to be reinvested, and then you can grow and get a second truck and get a third truck. And then you have money that when things arise, breakdowns, malfunctions, that money is there, and you're not scrambling, robbing Peter to pay Paul, or going to take out a loan to get your truck fixed. All right. www.boxtruckcourses.com for your one-on-one mentorship with me, Mark the Mentor. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the upcoming videos every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. here on Instagram and Facebook, The Mentors Podcast, with me, Mark the Mentor. I'm out.
Como, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about, oh shit.